Hello there. So today we're talking about making friends with fear, specifically when performing. Now you may want me to talk about getting rid of fear, how to never feel fear again, but realistically, fear is a necessary aspect of life, and the more resistance or judgment we have toward it, the more we push against the fear that we're feeling, the more it can show up in unfavorable ways, kind of undermining our singing and our performing. So in this teaching, I'm giving you ways to shift your awareness and your beliefs around fear and offering some ideas on how to cozy up to this emotion. So first of all, we want to feel fear. As functioning humans, fear plays an important role in our survival. It kept us safe from those saber-toothed tigers, and it continues to refine our decisions and choices so that we stay alive and prosper. Recognizing it as the powerhouse brain function that it is gives us the understanding of why and when it shows up. Secondly, fear is an emotion, right? It's a feeling in our body, a vibration in our body, like a frequency. Albeit for me and for many of us, when I'm performing, it can be a very intense feeling or vibration. So here's a question for you. What does fear feel like in your body? And it's going to be a little bit different for each one of us, but only describe the physical manifestations. Don't describe what you're thinking. That's separate for now. I want you to describe what's going on in your body. So for me, what happens is when I feel fear, my heart speeds up. I can feel that pounding in my chest. I start to swallow a lot. My mouth feels dry. I also have a feeling like my throat is closing. No fun for a singer. My breath quickens and becomes a little more shallow. Now, unconsciously, I'll kind of start to move around a lot. I'll pace. None of these actions or these manifestations are conducive to singing, right? So it's no wonder that we make fear the villain. But these physical manifestations are very primal, normal reactions to what we are doing and the beliefs that we have around the action that we're taking, the performing. Now, our body thinks that we're putting ourselves in harm's way, that we're facing judgment from others, and we may be ostracized, right, from our tribe. Our brain is saying, red alert, get the heck out of there. Now, this is the important moment because this is where we say, thank you. Crazy, right? But it's true. At this moment, all the things are happening in the body and we say thank you to our fear. We give it a high five for doing its natural job. We don't judge it as wrong. We see it as normal. We soften our resistance against it. We don't make it mean something that it doesn't. We allow the fear to be what it is and move through our body. Holy moly, not easy, right? Not easy to open our mouths and share our voices while all that is going on. But what's the alternative? So here's one. Most recently, I was struggling with fear while performing. I was pushing against it. I was angry that it was showing up. I was judging it severely. Really, I was mad at myself. And it went something like this. So here I am at the mic getting ready to sing, and this is what's going on. Oh no, it's happening again. All the warm-up and stretches I did before, it didn't help. Trisha, you're a professional. This should not be happening to you. You know better. This is your job. You're going to sound terrible again. Why do you keep showing up for this if this is what's going to happen? And on it went. I berated myself. I was kind of beating myself up. I wanted to quit singing right then and there. Wah! Right? Made myself feel wrong and feel horrible. Now, I sang. I got through the performance. All turned out well and good. But the inner turmoil was very real. And what I learned, what I discovered, is that all this self-talk, it was not helping. If it did, this would be an entirely different blog, right? Okay. So the commentary that we have running, our thoughts that go on while we're feeling this fear is really hurting us and is not letting us sing or perform our best. So I needed to work on that. So we have to stop making ourselves and the fear wrong. We need to make friends with this emotion and the natural physical manifestations that show up. We must change our thoughts around what is occurring because the situation's not going to change. We are still going to perform. There's still going to be people out there. We will still have the spotlight and the stage and the band and all the things that go into the performing. The feeling of fear will still show up, although in varying levels based on, where we're performing and what we're singing. But when that primal part of our brain kicks in, let it. Acknowledge it. Cool, my fear is here. This is my buddy Fear, right on cue. Awesome. Glad you could make it. These thoughts don't resist, push against, or magnify our fear. It's a very powerful choice, a very different choice. These thoughts welcome it in along with all the other emotions we're feeling. Because in that performance moment, we are also feeling excitement. And we let that in. We're feeling joy. This is so fun. We let that in. We're feeling gratitude. We let that in. When we start performing, we have a whole bunch of emotions that are in the room. All our little emotion buddies are there to help us do our job. And fear is no longer the dominant emotion. We love it just like we do all the other emotions. Fear, as all the emotions, are our friends, part of the beautiful human experience that shows up in our singing, in our songwriting, and in our performing. Vibrations, frequencies to be felt. We can feel them. We can let them move through us, let go, and learn from what they have to show us, right? We get to choose. Now, conceptually, this makes perfect sense. In application, it's hard. I'll admit, for me, it's hard to practice that in. But I knew I had to do it to make that difference, to build that relationship with my fear. And it worked. It takes practice. It takes time. And it takes a lot of self-love, right? Think of fear as that precious little kiddo in you that's only trying to help, but doesn't quite know how. It may feel like the toddler meltdown in the grocery store, but what that kiddo needs is love. So love that part of you, respect that part of you, comfort that part of you, have fun with that part of you, and just be gentle with that part of you that shows up. Feeling fear never means you quit singing. It means you love all of you more deeply. Notice when resistance comes up. Notice how you're pushing against it. Soften. Make friends with your fear. And notice how performing becomes more enjoyable. How you're able to feel all the cool emotions that are there, more freeing and more vulnerable. You know that I'm cheering for you, right? I'm cheering for myself as we do this work together, okay? Until next time, rejoice in your voice. Bye-bye.